Welcome to the Mother May I podcast with Frank and Irene on Strong Island Entertainment. Gee, I hope I didn't make a mistake with these two. They promised me they'd bring in some really good guests. Well, anyway, here's Frank and Irene.
Hello and welcome to Mother May I podcast with Frank Conniff, Irene Bremis. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Conniff has some amazing news today. Apparently, he actually had somebody clean his apartment for the very first time. You are a cleaning lady, virgin, so to speak. So, Frank, describe what this woman what makes your apartment better now? Like, what did she do?
She cleaned this. It was all dusty and cat hair and just a mess, you know. And she cleaned it. It's just a basic cleaning up thing, you know. I was worried she would refuse the job, you know. It would be like too much for her. And for a while, I wondered if I had to bring in the Environmental Protection Agency, people in hazmat suits, to clean it. But he came in on just yesterday and did a really good job. I went for a walk in Central Park while she cleaned, nice. And it got as you might remember, it got very rainy yesterday. So I got caught in the rain. Ooh. But it was actually really nice. I ended up just sitting in this gazebo by the lake in the park and looking out at the rain. It was actually.
Were you singing, Frank?
Huh?
Were you singing?
No, I was
no singing
very
in the
quiet.
rain.
And I posted a picture on Instagram of a rat that I saw there too.
Ah, the ratones, the New York City rats. Frank, doesn't it feel like when your apartment is clean, you breathe easy, right? Don't you feel like it smells clean and you feel more organized?
I feel like if anyone happened to show up, it wouldn't be completely embarrassing. Basically, what she did was she made my place less embarrassing, and I appreciate her for that. And you know, through the pandemic, nobody was going to come visit, so I kind of let it go a little bit. I think a lot of people probably did, and. Yeah. You might remember that when I was recovering from my heart surgery, my sister Lucy would clean my apartment, you know, because she's such a great person. And
oh my God.
I didn't even ask her to. She just started doing it. And, you know, then unfortunately I got better and then I lost the sympathy card. And she's like, fuck you. You take care of your apartment now.
Clean up after yourself, Frank. I'm not your mother. I'm your sister. I love Lucy. She's amazing. Speaking of sisters, my sister came to visit just this past week. It was really fun. She came from Boston and we did like this whole like 1980s and 70s movies marathon type of thing.
Oh, nice. What did you watch?
We watched The Witches of Eastwick.
So no, it's not a great movie. I don't think.
You don't like it? I don't know why I fucking love it so much, but I do love it. I think it's the women that I love so much in this.
Yeah.
You know, I love Susan Sarandon. Well, I liked Susan Sarandon until she didn't.
As an actress, she's still a good actress. She's a batshit crazy citizen, but
yeah.
She's always been a good actress.
Right. And this is not even, I kind of hated her. The politics just tied into my disdain furthering for her, but because initially, you know, I was waitressing at the Bottom Line. Frank, do you remember the Bottom Line in New York City?
I went to the Bottom Line many times. And in fact, since I worked at the bitter end, I was able to get in for free and saw some good shows there.
Yeah, they had, I saw everybody. I saw Springsteen there, Betty there. Who else? David Johansen there. You know, there was just so many great people there. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going with this. And this is why hormones are really bad. I don't know where I was going. Frank, were you paying attention to why I was? Susan Sarandon. I was killing myself as a waitress at the Bottom Line. She came in with her hubby and what's his name again? The hormones.
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins, of course. Tim Robbins. They came in. They ordered up a storm, and then she stiffed me on the tip, which I literally.
Well, you know what? There you go. Typical socialist. You know, talks about the working class, and then really has no concern. And I'm sorry. That's the way I feel about those kind of. Far left people, the Jill Stein supporters, is they really don't have they really have an indifference to human suffering. It's all about their ideology and stuff.
It's
And
true.
and
Pierre
that doesn't
Terre.
surprise me at all. And her husband, Tim Robbins, also a great actor, also kind of a douche when it comes to.
Also a douche. You're absolutely right, and it pretty much encapsulates who she is as a person. It's like this incredibly condescending, disconnected person, and she just stiffed me, and that was it. I lost it for her completely. I lost it for her.
Yeah. I was going to say not shocking coming from her, but I think that's unusual for people because if she's an actress, I assume she maybe waited tables once, but maybe she didn't. Maybe she comes from privilege or whatever.
Yeah, we don't know because I feel like if she did wait on tables, she would have left me a
Yeah,
tip.
because you're like me, and that I worked in restaurants in my youth, and as a result, we're very conscientious about leaving good tips for people who serve us.
Yeah,
I've never left
absolutely.
less than a 20% tip for even mediocre service. I leave a good tip.
Listen, how about this? Even if you suck, we are in the industry and we're going to leave you a 20% tip,
Right.
let alone my flawless, seamless performance as a waitress. And you're going to fucking stiff me, you whore. And your husband's going to sit idly by, which is disgusting. You know who I forgot that I didn't like her? I'm going to be really honest. I was so enthralled with her red hair in The Witches of Eastwick, and I love red hair that I actually forgot that she stiffed me as a waitress. I can't believe it. I can't believe I forgot that.
My feeling about that movie is that with that cast, it should have been better because it's an incredible cast.
Mm-hmm.
Not just her, but Cher and Michelle Pfeiffer, right? She's the
Hey,
other
Michelle
one.
Pfeiffer,
And
who
Jack
is.
Nicholson, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And even I think Veronica Cartwright is in it, and she's a
Mm-hmm.
really good actress. So that movie was a disappointment, I thought.
That was a disappointment for you. I probably liked it because I'm a girl and it tapped into that, like women, when they unite, they can move mountains kind of thing. Like, because these three women were just thinking about this guy and they sort of manifested him. Are you ready to start?
No, I don't go
To
for a
manifesting?
movie.
Okay, good.
For a
Thank
movie
God.
about witches, I don't go.
Yeah,
If
you don't
somebody
go. No.
tells me that a witch did magic on them in real life, then I go.
Then you go, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. I know this about you, Frank. I can't even believe I said what I said. But this is a great segue. We're talking about women and we're going to segue right into what's going on. R. Kelly found guilty on all accounts and fucking Bill Cosby shut the fuck up. Am I right on Twitter today?
Yeah, he hired like the worst PR man ever who said, what would help you with the public is you should defend R. Kelly.
You should defend, and I'm sure R. Kelly was like, fuck it, I've got this on my own because you're so, you got away with murder, you got away with raping 60 women too, which were 15-year-olds, and he tweeted out, not tweeted out, but he said what Bill Cosby thinks is that R. Kelly got railroaded in this federal sex crimes case. I mean, at what
That's
point?
what Bill thinks about himself. Well,
Exactly.
I don't know if he really thinks it, but that's his line, is that he was railroaded. And maybe he thinks the R in R. Kelly stands for roofies, and he just relates to it.
I mean, yeah, maybe that's what it is. And he was projecting. I think it is classic projection. I always said, I never trusted a clean comic. I swear to God, I never, ever do. I feel like
they're
if
the
you're
ones who are
filthy, yeah.
Well, I mean, there are
Their soul, I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't say that about all clean comics. What I think with Cosby, what you really have to be on your guard for is sanctimonious comics, because he was so sanctimonious before all this happened. He lectured about young African-American kids wearing baggy pants and not looking good and being disrespectful of authority. And he was always like lecturing about stuff like that, and about people using foul language. And so, of course, it turns out he's a horribly evil person.
He is a horribly evil person, and we're not surprised. And R. Kelly, who's also just a fucking despicable, deplorable humanly. I mean, I can't. He had his little what they were called Rob's rules, and that many of his sexual partners were required to follow, according to the testimony, included women and girls, were to call him daddy and get permission to eat and go to the bathroom. Okay, this is the kind of monster that we're talking about. And Frank, is this unusual? It sounds like the Trump administration, rapists protecting rapists, nothing unusual in that administration as it is. And I mean, we didn't get the green light here, but I can't let my beautiful guest hang on any longer. Frank, I don't know if you know this girl, but I love this girl. She's not only a hilarious comic, an extraordinary person, but she's one of the sweetest people that I know. Welcome to the show, Kyle Ocasio, everybody.
Hey.
Hi, Frank. Hi,
Hey,
Irene.
good to see you again.
Oh, yeah, right. You guys know each other.
Yes, we did John's show years ago.
Yeah.
And you're hilarious, Frank. Your tweets are some of my favorites.
Oh,
you're so
thank
fun.
you. Thank you so much.
Frank is not short on funny fucking tweets. I will tell you that. Kyle, how are you? And what's going on in your world now? Kyle and I have something in common, Frank. I don't know if you know this, but we're both trainers.
Oh, really?
Not dog trainers, physical fitness trainers. Yeah.
I just came from training someone. I have this lady. I think I've told you about her, Irene. We train in the park. She just wants to walk in the park. And for 20 years, I've had her on and off. And I'm always like, do you want to warm up first and then I'll work out with you? Like, I feel bad taking your money to just walk, but she says no. She just wants me to walk. So I feel like I'm walking a dog, sort of like we just walk through Central Park. And
then the shit in the park.
And sometimes she takes the shit.
If she starts taking a shit, I think then you have a problem. I think, Kyle, listen, you're also, you're being paid for to inspire her and to motivate her. That's what happens. I think walking personally is the most underrated exercise ever. And Frank, chime in.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah, I walk at least an average of 3 miles a day, sometimes more. Like yesterday when I had to be away from my house while it was being cleaned, I did like a 5-mile walk. But when I walk through the park, and I was just walking through Central Park yesterday, and I walk through Carl Schurz Park a lot, I see people with trainers a lot in the park. I see people working out with trainers. Just the other day, I saw a guy with a really badass woman, like doing boxing, like he was holding up those things and she was like punching him, and it was
pads, Frank. Get the lingo down, baby. They're called pads.
It was very hot, I have to say. So,
it is hot.
So I think that's if you're going to have a trainer and it's a nice day, going to the park is like a great idea, I think.
Well, during COVID, a lot of trainers, because we couldn't go indoors, we would either do virtuals, or if anybody lived in the neighborhood, I would just say, hey, let's go to a park by you. As long as the weather's nice, it's nice because you're breathing in fresh air. You don't have to share equipment. So there's a lot of pros.
It's safe. And also, Kyle, the thing about walking outside, just walking, it's actually one of the most effective ways to lose weight, believe it or not. Like I said this on another show. I forget who that Russian tennis player is. She was a very famous Russian tennis player. And she
married Enrique Iglesias before he took his mole off.
That was it exactly.
Okay.
I think
Anna something.
Yeah. So she said that she couldn't lose any weight. We all know that tennis is a very high cardio sport. She couldn't lose any weight. She started walking like Frank in a fast pace. Frank walks like he has to pee. That's how he walks.
It's the truth. I always have to pee. That's gotta, that's
it's not? Okay. I can't keep up with him because he's fucking, his bladder so small. Anyway, so, what is it? Enlarged prostate. That's what it is, Frank. So fast paced.
My prostate's so large they show IMAX films on it. I mean, it was a large prostate, is what I'm saying.
Your prostate's so large, it's hot, Frank. That's what it is. So I think walking is really great. Now I want to ask Kyle, because I always love to talk to Kyle about working out, because we're both comics and we both train people, and we're into health and stuff like that. So I want to ask you, Kyle, what kind of stuff what's like your go-to when you're training somebody? Like, what's one of the like, we all have like this one exercise or a training regimen that you think is like something that's quick, that if you do it throughout the day, commit to it in a small amount of time, it's very effective.
It depends. Like, some people, I have one older woman, she's in her 80s and she's really fragile. She doesn't want to get on the floor, so we can't do any mat stuff. So I've been learning more about standing abs, which I never really liked, but if you do them right, they're just as effective. So for her, I'll do more standing stuff, but I guess my go-to is a bridge, like just a basic, lying on your back, lifting your butt up, a nice Pilates bridge. I'm so passionate about it that but basically, you just like take all the weight off of your back and you put the weight in your heels and you lift up, and it's a great thing to tone up your little booty. And it might be good for your prostate too, Frank. I don't know.
Right. I was just thinking it. I was just going to say, I'd like to see it would strengthen Frank's prostate. You beat me to it, sweetie.
I'm going to start a new thing, prostate lotties.
Prostate lotties. I like
That
it.
could be
It's like
something.
the equivalent of a male Kegel. I like it, sweetie. It sounds sexy. Kyle, actually, I couldn't agree with you more. And I almost never do sitting abs, because I am such I love standing abs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, standing abs is my go-to. And I like that you said that, because you don't have to sit on the floor and crunch to get your core in shape. There's so many different things that you could do. Kettlebell is a great way to exercise.
I love kettlebells. I've been learning more about kettlebells in like the last year. I don't know why I was afraid of them. Like sometimes that snatch exercise where you like lift it, like I always thought I would hurt my back, but it's a really good, if you get the right weight, kettlebells are awesome. I love them.
What about kettle chips? How do those work?
Oh, delicious. Delicious. They really do work great, Frank. After your workout, kettle chips are the way to go. Kettle chip. They are kind of scary, though, I have to say. They look like one iron ball. You pick it up. Now, I
looks like Frank's prostate.
Yeah, like his prostate.
Never joke.
Yeah, we're just going to keep that hook going on. Kyle and I are going to be calling that back the whole show.
Okay.
Your prostate is the star of the show. But I think the kettlebell is a great way to do it, because you could get different size kettlebells. You can get small or large, like Frank's prostate, okay? And
stop, won't stop.
And you could you work your core. That's what I love about kettle. Now, when you train yourself, what exercise do you do and how often, and how long do you work out during the day for you, just you?
So for me, I've recently been doing shorter workouts with, I'm trying to go up a little bit on strength. So I'll do less reps with a little bit of heavier weight, and I'll do a lot of sets. Like, I'm really into repetition. That for me seems to be changing my body the most. I do like the Tracy Anderson, she's so annoying, but like her little, you do like the arm stuff for an hour and your arms feel like they're going to fall off. I like to cross train. I think it's good to work, pull those smaller muscles together to help support you. But I've just been working on my strength a little bit more lately. So I'll do like maybe a 30-minute workout, and I'll do, Monday I'll focus on chest and back, and I'll do 5 reps of, 5 sets of, 10 or 15 with the weight that's challenging, but that I can do without straining. And if I'm tired, I'm learning that taking a rest is good. That's when your body's recovering.
That's where I'm at. I'm very taking rests.
But you don't need to
really
work out
into the rest.
You don't need to work out like every single day. Like, I'll take the weekend off, or, if I'm tired or not feeling my best, I'll just, do a quick 15-minute little stretch. Something's better than nothing. You just keep moving.
You have to keep moving, and I think you're absolutely right. I like the truncated version of workouts the best, and I agree, lighter weights, more reps, you'll get the best results that way.
I think for me, like the reason I walk every day and I'm so into it is it's good for my, it's like an antidepressant, it's like good
Yes.
for my,
Totally.
helps my mood.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I don't get out and walk around, if I hadn't been able to walk around during even at the height of the pandemic, I was still allowed to go out for a walk. If I hadn't had that, I really would have gone crazy.
You're absolutely right, Frank. And we both said this, Kyle and I, separately together. We can't echo it enough. Working out, secondary to what you look, is what it does for your mental health, which is why we are not short of comics as clients. We're inundated with them because, who needs a fucking workout more than a comedian? But you're absolutely right. What working out does with endorphins, raising the serotonin in your body, is immeasurable in terms of working out. But I also love what you said, Kyle, about like using more repetition, building endurance instead of because you have to adjust your weights as you get older, your bone density. You have to take all these things into account when you're working out. Like you can't just, I've seen trainers do this, and to me, it drives me insane. I want to fucking hit them because they walk in with 20-pound weights in each hand. Somebody obviously is like in their 60s, and you're going to give this person 20-pound weights. That's not the way it's done, So you kind of have to adjust to that. Also, Frank, eating is another way to keep ourselves healthy. And Frank has accomplished this as well. It only took his quadruple heart surgery to get him there, but whatever it took, sweetie. Frank, you adjusted your eating a lot too.
I did. I eat better than I almost completely cut sugar out.
That's amazing. My hat tip to you, man. Sugar is so hard. It's so hard.
If you've ever seen a picture of me from before my surgery, you know how much I love sugar because it was very obvious that I ate a lot of sweets. And now I just let myself have it on the weekends now, Saturday and Sunday, and then for the whole rest of the week I don't indulge.
Well, and also sugar is one of these things, it doesn't have to be a cookie or a donut. It can also be just like a bagel or,
bagels, I eat a shit ton of bagels still. I can't deny that.
You do eat a shit ton of, what's a shit ton? I need to know.
Like one every day.
Wow. And you still have that very svelte figure. I could never eat a fucking bagel a day, Frank. I'm a little jealous.
It's like I have 3 great bagel places in my neighborhood. It's my favorite food in the world, practically.
I know, mine too.
Bagels are amazing. Bagels are like that broke my heart when I learned that eating a bagel is like eating a Snickers. I mean, it's sad because especially in New York City, they're so good.
They are. Favorite bagel place.
Is it really like eating a Snickers though?
It's sugar. It turns to sugar.
A little bit, but it's kind of like, from what I understand, your body just does the same thing that it would do, converting it into glucose. It just does the same thing. So carbs are
carbohydrates, all carbohydrates, including pasta, all of it. Yeah.
Well, I still eat pasta. I mean, I still have at least one carb thing. The idea of eating like some chicken without rice is just the rice is my favorite part. The potatoes are my favorite part of a meal.
Right. The rice the chicken's just an excuse to eat the rice, Frank. I got you. Listen, and you know what? If you gave up eating sweets, because I never ate sweets anyway, I don't have a sweet tooth, then I think that you're fine. Pay attention to your body. That's what I always tell people. Pay attention to your body. Make sure that you're healthy. And I think that if you do it if you eat stuff in moderation, I mean, I can't believe that I gave up bagels because I love bagels. What's your favorite bagel place in New York?
Well, it's in my neighborhood. There's Bob's Bagels, which is really good. And Tal Bagels are really good too. And
Lender's Bagels.
Murray's Bagels.
The one that I used to go to downtown when I lived on Sheridan Square, I think it's Village Square Bagels. There's so many great bagels in New York. It's ridiculous. And unlike pizza, which I've had really good pizza elsewhere, I've rarely, if ever, had a good bagel outside of New York.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because the pizza myth, it's kind of true. Like when I visit my family in Ohio, we order pizza and it is not good. But I've had good pizza in other places. But you're right. I've never found a bagel that's been like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
They say it's the water. I don't know. Is that true?
They say that
I
it
don't
is the
know
water.
if that's true. And there probably are good bagels elsewhere. I just haven't had. The other thing that I've never had outside of New York that's great, and it's probably a good thing since I'm not really allowed to have them, is I've never had a good Italian sausage outside of New York.
Irene, insert your joke. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you, I have, well, a long time ago, but now I traded it in for an Irish sausage, which is great for anal. So there you go. There you have it.
I'm glad we lightened it up.
I'm Greek.
Like we were sounding really old talking about bagel prostate.
We've derailed from working out. Now we're in this bagel talk, but I do love bagels. And my favorite bagel place in New York was always Murray's Bagel. Did you guys ever hear of Murray's?
Yeah, sure.
Murray's was my favorite, and it all sort of reminded me of like the soup Nazi on Seinfeld. You were not allowed to get your bagel toasted there. He would literally start yelling if you asked to get your.
I'm on board with that attitude. A really good bagel doesn't need to be toasted. That's my opinion. And if it's a bad bagel, then definitely toast it. Definitely toast it if it's not a good bagel.
If it's
a great bagel, you don't need to.
It's a very controversial opinion. Yeah, I don't know.
It is a controversial. We can just close out the show with this one. But so you're having a bagel. It's not a bad thing. But obviously, I always like to talk to Kyle about healthy stuff and exchange our little recipes, which we've done on Instagram Live, but we've never done it on this show. Beautiful. And Frank, maybe you'll get into this. Maybe for your birthday, I'm going to also get you a little bullet. Do you have a blender at home, Frank?
I do not.
Okay, you do now because I'm going to buy you one. I'm going to get him a little blender. And Kyle has some amazing recipes, and so do I. Kyle, would you like to share some of your recipes to anybody that's listening?
Sure. Yeah? Well, we did the smoothie recipe on our Instagram Live. I do, what do I do? I do coconut water. Sometimes I do I don't love almond milk, but I like coconut water. I'll do a banana. I'll do some frozen berries and spinach because you don't taste it with all the sweet stuff. And then another little secret I learned from some YouTube video or something was a date. Like if you cut up a date and put it in, it will mask the taste of like anything.
That's what Ted Bundy used to do.
But seriously, it's really good. It takes all the nasty taste away. So you could put all these greens and kale and spinach.
I have to tell you, with my diabetes, I can't have any fruit ever.
You can't, Frank, hold on a second. You can't have any fruit at all or certain fruits? Like cantaloupe? What about cantaloupe?
I don't know. I
want to almost look it up. Let me see what it is.
Because berries are really low glycemic.
That's right. Berries.
I feel like berries are always okay. I can understand staying away from tropical fruits and citrus fruits because those are.
Bananas I'm not allowed. And, I haven't had since my surgery, I haven't had a waffle with bananas on it, which is my favorite thing in the world.
Well, I have a list here, Frank. I'm sorry. I had to look this up because it is true. And I never actually looked it up before. I'm almost shocked at some of the fruits that you can have on this list. So you can definitely make a shake when I buy you your bullet. You're going to have your own bullet. I have a vibrator also called the bullet. So you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Not as much as I have fun with my bullet, but you will enjoy it. Here it is. Apples, avocados, bananas, berries, like Kyle said, cherries, which is an enormous antioxidant. And guess what, Frank? Excellent for gout. Along with your prostate.
You know what?
What?
I years ago in LA, everybody said blueberries were great for gout. And then I had a really bad gout attack and I tried eating blueberries and they didn't work at all. You know what worked? When I finally went to the doctor and got some fucking drug.
Pill. I agree, Frank. Listen to me, okay? If you're in pain, cherries, by the way, it wasn't blueberries, it's cherries. That's not going to save you from gout. Gout is the most painful thing. I hope you understand that when you're in the middle of gout, get your ass over and take that pill, allopurinol, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You need that pill. Cherries isn't going to save you. Grapefruits, grapes, and kiwi fruit. And these are all awesome for shakes. Absolutely awesome for shakes. So I'm going to send you this list. And this is, when you make this shake, Frank, you're not going to believe how delicious it is when they're all mixed in together. In fact, when I combine, really good, right? When you combine a banana with avocado, it tastes exactly like yogurt.
Really?
Yeah. Frank, I know he's not biting. He's not biting on this, but next time I see you, Frank, I'm coming over. You're going to have I'm bringing the bullet. And I'm going to make you a shake, and you'd be surprised as to how good this stuff can be.
Okay.
Anyway, Frank, I don't know. You lost how many pounds since your surgery?
Probably 50 or 60, something like that.
That's great. Congrats.
Thanks. Well,
I mean,
it took having surgery for that to happen. I couldn't do it with my own willpower.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what it takes. I know there's another comic that was diagnosed with diabetes and he lost 80 pounds and he just went all out vegan. And that, not everybody has to do that, but he kind of needed that extreme to guide him, and it helped. I mean, he says he was telling me about a recipe instead of using meat for bolognese sauce, he used lentils and veggies, and so it's like you adapt, and then you realize like eating good isn't it's not so hard. If you're willing to put in a little bit of time and cook stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's not, you know what it is? Eating good is like having married sex. It's not fun. It's obligatory. You know what I mean? That's it. That's what it fucking is. Frank would never like bolognese sauce made with lentils. I will speak on behalf of Frank right now. But Frank, honestly, you don't have to compromise taste, but if there are some really extraordinary recipes, but honestly, Frank, I'm really impressed with you keeping it off. That's what's really amazing. Not the fact that you lost it so much, but the fact that you kept it all off.
I look like I kept it off?
Yes.
Okay.
Why have you? I mean,
no, I still fit into my, so I went from a size 44 to a size 38, and I still fit into my size 38, so I must be doing okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
I think over the pandemic, I think I gained a little bit of weight though.
I think everyone did.
Yeah.
I think everyone did except for Kyle, who's incredibly thin.
Oh, I did. Huh. No, I did. I ate a lot. I was like, just, home with the kids, and I ordered Hello Fresh. Have you guys had any of those meals? So I brought them to your house, Irene, remember?
Right, okay, so Kyle, let me tell Frank about our little sleepover, because we're like 12, Frank, me, Kyle, and Carmen. It's ridiculous. So I had Kyle come with her 2 kids, Benny and Maya. These kids are so amazing. And Carmen, and Kyle just came with all these healthy things, and you brought Hello Fresh. Is that what it was called, Hello Fresh? So they the ingredients at your door, right, Kyle? That's how it works?
Yeah, but I'm getting sick of them because sometimes it's nice. It makes you make things that you don't normally make. You can sort of spice it up. But now it's just like sometimes the stuff will sit and I'm like, shit, I have to cook, and it becomes stressful because I'm like, I don't want the food to go bad. So I'm going to cancel them. Hopefully they're not a sponsor or anything of yours, but yeah, I'm done. But that said, it's nice to do a meal delivery service once in a while. Like you can skip weeks on them, because otherwise, I mean, for me, I just make the same, I make like whole wheat pasta with pesto or lasagna, and my kids get sick of it. So you can make new things. So the stuff I brought to your house was like all cool recipes, if I remember. Yeah,
it was all cool recipes. And then I was like, fuck, I have to eat this because it's going to go bad. So thank you for that.
It's stressful.
The buck, bitch.
That's they say that in their ads, right? You have to eat this because it's going to go bad. That's the big selling point.
That's their slogan, yeah.
So I did, I'm serious. I was like, oh God, I do have to make this. There's so much pressure. And who the fuck wants to cook after we've been chained to a goddamn stove for the past year? You know what I mean? Right. But, I mean, you
By
can't.
the way, my cleaning lady that I was telling you about, you won't believe how much she cleaned my stove. It's fucking amazing. My stove looked like looked like a World War II, bombing site. And,
Wow.
Those are nasty. Yeah.
I don't think I clean my stove either, Frank. I mean, it's the one thing that you just absolutely never clean, And so I'm glad that you got that cleaned up, because actually Frank cooks a lot. I thought Frank, I thought maybe you would be ordering in a lot, but you don't do that.
No, I haven't since the pandemic and since my surgery. I don't cook anything that requires more than boiling water, or, and I put a lot of stuff in the microwave, let's face it, rice and stuff like that. And, but I'll cook up a chicken or some fish or something like that, and I think that it's helped me health-wise, because I think when I order out, like if you order out from like stuff I love, like Thai food, and there's always, you never know what kind of ingredients are in the food, in the sauces and stuff, that can be fattening and stuff like that,
Or God forbid MSG, which people have such allergies to. I know I was talking to my cousin. She's like, she keeps ordering anything if you order things that are processed or high in sodium, or you have MSG, these things can cause actual physical heart palpitations. I mean, it's really, really bad for you to have that kind of stuff, So at least you know what you're putting in it, Frank.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. So you're eating healthy. Frank, you look gorgeous.
I'm eating relatively healthy. I'm eating comparatively healthy to the way I used to. I don't think anyone would look at what I eat and say, oh, that guy's like a health food nut. It's just not the case.
That's right. So you're not getting the kale chips anytime soon?
No, I'm not getting kale anything. I fucking hate kale. And I'm not a vegetable hater. I love spinach. I like corn. I like broccoli. But I fucking hate kale. It tastes horrible as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it went.
Kale like fucked you over and stood you up. Like,
I think he's jealous of kale, as we all are. It was a garnish, and now it's a celebrity. Fuck you, kale. Right?
Yeah,
no kale for us. So Kyle, you've been back into comedy again. Of course, I don't know where the hell you find the energy, having not one or two, but 3 kids, 3 fucking teenagers, and you cook and you work out, and you're holding down a job, and you're back into comedy, sweetie. How's it been getting back into stand-up since the world reopened?
It's good. It finally feels normal again. Last year I think we were all feeling like every time there would be an outdoor show, every comic I'd see would be like, I can't remember my set, or like, I can't remember my transitions because it'd been so long. Now it finally feels like, back to the way it was. At least just there's, work is available. And I was in Atlantic City with 2 really good friends, and that was so fun. It was fun to kind of have that time again. But yeah, in terms of the kids, it's easier. No, it's not easier now. That's not true. It was when they were little and I was still married, their dad would come home and I would go do really late spots because I was newer. And that worked because they didn't even know, they'd be sleeping. And now the issue is I don't trust them. So I was like, I was doing a road gig and I was supposed to come back. I think it ended on a Thursday night and I was supposed to come back Friday. And one of the other comics had said that he was thinking of going back Thursday night. And I was like, well, I'm going to take a bus. He goes, no, you can come back with me. So I literally could have stayed in a nice, comfortable hotel for another night, but I was like, my daughter will have like 12 friends over if I don't go home. So I came home. So that's the challenge now. So like the stand-up itself is a nice break because I'm not dealing with that shit,
Right. Yeah.
The older one is in Europe right now. So that's nice. He's kind of taking a gap semester.
The gorgeous one that Carmen and I both want to have sex with. I know that's wrong, but you know that already because I think we said that inappropriately immediately when we saw him.
I'm like, Mrs. Robinson, are you trying to seduce me?
I guess that would make me Mrs. Robinson. So he's in Europe, and then said Maya's still with you, right? Maya's at home with you, and Benny's still at home with you.
Yeah.
And So what grade is Benny in right now?
He's in 8th grade.
He's in 8th grade, and Maya is
in 11th.
In 11th. I mean, that's still just like so much. I mean, it's crazy. I can't believe that you managed that by yourself, because she is a single parent.
Yes, Venmo me, please, because they're
Venmo
dead.
Venmo me, please. That's what you should have on your Venmo me. I'm taking care of 3 teenagers. I'm a single mother. Fucking cut me some slack and Venmo me directly. And I love, I love all the jokes that you write about your kids. And I love the fact that, even though it's so hard, you somehow make it work for yourself. I know that Maya now is, you've had a lot of issues. Is it okay for me to say that?
Oh, totally.
About Maya, who I love so very much, who we spent time with when she was here.
She loves you too. She was just talking about you the other day.
I'm just so crazy about her. And she's had, she's having some problems, as we all do. We all have problems. And she found her little niche and she went to modeling boot camp. Who'd have thought there was even a modeling boot camp?
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I thought it was kind of a scam, but she really wanted to do it. And we did that for her birthday. And the woman that was like running it, she was really awesome. And, she was like, Maya has such a runway body. And my daughter's just naturally, like, she's tall and thin. It's like, it's not fair. Like, she just, can eat all the stuff that we can't, Frank. And well, maybe also because she's 16. It's like, come back to me when you're, 30, bitch. But
yeah.
She looks really great and she really loved it. And she's not sort of a typical like super femme kind of model. Like, she definitely dresses a little more androgynously, and like a lot of this generation, that's kind of like the style. But she's happy, and she loved doing it. So we have to put her portfolio together, Irene. We still have to pick a time.
I'm gonna come and help you with that. We'll nail down a date after this show, okay? Because I need to do that. I love the fact that the world is moving towards gender neutral, because I'm so sick of like every girl having to look a specific kind of way. And so I love the fact that modeling is even reinventing itself now.
Yeah.
so that everybody can feel okay in their body and the way that they look. And I love the fact that there's big girl modeling, there's thin girl modeling, there's this more, you don't have to look like, oh my God, I was really going to date myself with Cheryl Teagues. Help, Frank. Anyway.
I was going to say Susie Parker, so.
Okay, oh my God, please. We're going to be Googling this. Frank had us Googling Peggy Lee for 5 hours, me and Carmen, the last time Carmen was on the show. But
I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, Peggy Lee. You don't know who Peggy Lee is?
No.
Oh, now you're the authority, huh, Irene?
Well, now I know who Peggy Lee is, so there you go. I like to know.
No one. I mentioned her last week.
Sounds like a weird porn name. I don't know.
Well, that's her pegging video. She's called Peggy Lee. But
do you know what? Wait, no, that's not what it is. I'm sorry, I just took a total weird turn. There is, this is so random, but do you guys know what sounding is? I just found this out the other day, and it is horrifying. Yeah, it's disgusting.
What is it?
Okay, it's like when you, I don't know. It's when you stick like a thing in your dick hole. It's like some guys like it for fun. It's like you take a little thin stick and you just like,
that's called a catheter.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a thing. Like, it's like an actual, I learned this recently from a sexually active friend who's a little strange.
Wow.
So, cool.
Finally found a sexual fetish I'm not into. There's a first time for everything.
There is a first time. Catheters are not fun. I think Steve and I are going to stick to pegging, like Frank said. I think that's just more our speed, my speed. It's fantastic. But no, and you know what I've been telling Frank? This is terrible, especially when you're trying to do a show. I have hormones. Kyle, have the hormones kicked in for you at all? Frank's going to love this conversation. And I'll be in the middle of a sentence and I'll literally forget what I was saying. Literally forget what I was saying. Does that happen to you at all? Or is it just me?
Yeah, no, it happens to me. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I don't know how we went from modeling to pegging, but I like that we seamlessly did it, Frank. And I'm even more impressed that Frank is always up to par with all the sexual, the sexual trends. And so I'm a little upset that you didn't know what sounding was. Okay, Frank. I have a sneaky suspicion you're going to try it right after this show.
No,
And then his other prostate's gonna blow up.
just
I mean, how kinky.
check my Instagram later. You'll find out.
I'll check your Instagram later to find out. I mean, it's so scary. I wish I was a little more kinky, you know? I mean, this is what happens when you're married. I know Kyle's getting a lot of action from her boyfriend, right? You and
I don't know if it's like, you know, the longer you stay with someone and you guys get like, we work so much and we're both, you know, not that sex totally goes by the wayside, but it's like, I don't know if it's getting older, but it's like my priorities are more like, okay, are the kids off to school? Did I sign permission slips? Did I, you know, schedule this? Am I performing tonight? And then it's like, if all that's done, it's like, all right, maybe sex.
maybe the sex. Yeah. I mean, come on, treat yourself to a nice fucking snatch session, sweetie. You're worth it. What the fuck? Oh God, what is this world coming to? You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. That's why I believe that every single woman should have a vibrator, because when you're feeling that urge, you've got your little fuck buddy right next to you. You know what I mean? And I know. Steve was like, he was jealous that women have vibrators. He's like, I wish they had them for men. I'm like, it's called a penis, asshole. You do have one. It's attached to your body, right? But so I'm excited that you came on the show today. We got to talk about health a little bit. We got to talk about comedy. I'm so glad that things are going really well for Maya, because we know that
knock on wood, yeah.
And I'm knocking on wood right now. I think, and Frank is knocking on his penis. I'm sorry, that was really bad. On his large prostate.
No, never mind. I can't find anything.
Oh my God. So I like the fact that Maya has structure in her life now, and that she's, you know, that that she's moving forward this. And then before we go, I just want to find out, you said that Benny was actually gonna do, was Benny gonna do like an exchange program or something? Is that what you said?
Oh no, he didn't do an exchange program. He went to Costa Rica and over the summer.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And Maya did Puerto Rico. She wanted to, because her dad is from there, so she wanted to go. And they had a program where they built houses for people who lost their homes during Hurricane Maria. And it's really cool because people, you know, all they really got were, you know, paper towels thrown at them. So, and then the whole world forgot about it, but they're suffering a lot. Like outside of San Juan, outside of like where all the fancy hotels are, like there's, you know, people don't have running water. They don't have their homes. A lot of people lost their cats and dogs in the hurricane. So it's not something that you hear about. So I was kind of happy that she went back and like, you know, it wasn't a fun, relaxing trip. It was like she was building shit, like concrete, and built this entire house for this family. So it was really cool. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm mother of the year. I really sound like I'm amazing. Normally, when they're not building houses, they're lying to me about smoking pot and other stuff. So don't worry. You know,
I mean, really, that's really sweet that they do that. And you're right when you say that, like, you know, it's so, the media is so fucked up that we keep moving around like a cat looking at a shiny thing. And the truth of the matter is that these women are still suffering, and a lot of people are going without like safe water, clean water. So it is really such a sweet thing that she did that. And I bet it made her feel really good that she did that, right? Gave her a sense of purpose.
Stop complaining. Like she asked me when, like, not even a couple days after she got back, she's like, can I have some money to buy crystals, like to meditate? I'm like, she wanted to go to the Namaste. Like, I was like, no. I go, you just saw people that didn't even have like a fucking toilet, and you're acting like, you know, you don't have anything because I won't give you money to go buy an amethyst to meditate or do voodoo on. I don't know.
Right. You don't need an amethyst to meditate. All you need to do is close your eyes, because isn't that what meditation is? Gifting yourself with a fucking nap in the middle of the day. Let's be honest. Anyway, Kyle, I love you. Thank you so much for being here today. But wait, before we go, I need to find out where you're going to be, what you're doing, and plug all your socials.
I have a gig in Utah in like 3 weeks. Go to kyleocasio.com. I'm in the city, here and there for the next couple of weeks. My Instagram is at Ocasio Kyle. My Twitter is at Ocasio Kyle. And if you want to see me embarrass myself, my TikTok is at Kyle Ocasio.
Oh, okay. I'm a big TikTok watcher these days. I love TikTok.
Mine are dumb, but please, I could use it. Yeah, come on, follow.
Thank you, sweetie. You're awesome. We love you, Frankie boy. Anything that you'd like to plug? Any of your shows coming up?
Just go to my social media and you'll find out about everything I got going on. So
okay, now you're taking my line because I'm going to say that exact same thing. So I'm going to end with hey, hey, hey. How's that? I'm just going to end with Frank's lines. We're here every week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Mwah. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mother May I podcast with Frank and Irene on Strong Island Entertainment. Check us out next week when Frank and Irene sit down with, you know what? I don't know what these two are going to do next, but we'll see you next week.